Breaking news coming out, as in the last 24 hours, yesterday we saw the Chinese President Xi Jinping. He has ordered his army to prepare for war. Now, this is on the social media platform X. Xi Jinping yesterday urged the Chinese army to prepare for war. Here's another one. As Xi Jinping instructs his military to prepare for war, it's worth remembering that unlike the American army, these are real authentic women, they're saying. Chinese President Xi Jinping has ordered military to prepare for war. Now, take a look at the latest headlines coming out here. You can see, here's another one coming out 3 hours ago. China prepares for war. Xi Jinping calls China's army to step up preparations for war. This coming out in the last 24 hours as well. Here's another one. Xi Jinping asks troops to prepare for war as battle drills intensify around Taiwan. And all of this comes as we've been hearing these warnings that this was going to be coming, that there will be conflict. We'd heard the FBI saying before the year 2027 there would be a conflict in the Pacific between Taiwan and China, and that when that happens, the United States will be very aware of it. And why is that? Because, well, take a look at these warnings that we had heard. We'd heard FBI Director Wray, the chief of the FBI, say China's hackers, they have infiltrated U.S. critical infrastructure. Volt Typhoon hacking campaign is waiting for just the right moment to deal a devastating blow. And we're hearing that this could be right around the corner, that when China decides that it is time to invade Taiwan, that you can expect electrical grid systems, water systems, communications, transportation, ports, hospitals, things to start going down left and right as they are preparing to hit us with cyber attacks across U.S. infrastructure systems that have already been compromised by China. And take a look. This coming out back in April. So to clarify, these warnings have been coming out for over the past year, but this one coming out about 5 months ago. Chinese government poses a broad and unrelenting threat to U.S. critical infrastructure systems, FBI Director Wray says. And this comes as I mentioned to you, we're hearing in the last 24 hours, this post coming out 2 hours ago, that the Chinese President Xi Jinping has ordered the military to prepare for war. Like I said, this coming out all across the news media headlines, that they are saying that in the last 24 hours, China has said, get the troops ready. It is time for us to prepare for war. So things are intensifying in Asia right now with China and Taiwan. And this comes, as I also shared with you yesterday, we heard that North Korea is saying they're preparing for war. We've heard that Ukraine is saying they are preparing nuclear weapons for Russia. And we also have anticipation. We are waiting for the retaliation of Israel against Iran for that ballistic missile attack that took place on October 1st. So things are intensifying. And now new warnings coming out in the last 24 hours from China. And this, again, will directly impact the United States as they're going to be involved right in the middle of this. So I'm going to share with you guys the latest information, get you caught up, so that way you know exactly what is taking place. And as always, cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it, so that way you can see that it is the latest today, October the 20th, 2024. And if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything, do me a favor, please take a quick second, hit that like button. Just helps spread this out further, so that way more people can get the latest information. And like I said, I cite all the sources, so that way you can go ahead and take a look at it, know that it is the latest, and you can share it out, and you can be up to date on everything. Now, in addition to that, to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell to all, make sure you're staying subscribed to the channel. I'll keep you up to speed on everything, so that way you know what's going on, because there is a lot taking place right now in the world, and we're approaching elections. So I will make sure that I keep you guys up to date on all of this, and also additional resources linked down in the description for you. I know a lot of people are saying they want to be ready for what is coming. I always say here in the channel, don't be scared, be prepared. Let's be aware of what's going on, and let's be ready. So if you want to stock up on various things, I've got items down below, also free guides on what to take into consideration should we have power grid failures that take place. As not only have we had cyber attack warnings, but also NASA coming out and saying there are CME warnings, coronal mass ejections, that could wipe out power grids all over Earth with what could be coming. So like I said, I'll make sure that I keep you guys up to date on everything. But let's go ahead and take a look at these headlines. As we've heard in the last 24 hours, as I mentioned, China coming out and saying to prepare the armies. And like I said, this is all over X. You can see here All the information coming out. Xi Jinping yesterday urged China's army to prepare for war, comprehensive strengthening its war preparations, maintaining reliable combat readiness. Breaking news, Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, orders the army to prepare for war. So let's take a look at these articles here. Let's take a look at this one that came out, and all of these coming out in just the last 24 hours. Xi Jinping asks his troops to prepare for war as battle drills intensify around Taiwan. Now, I had shared with you just a couple days ago that we had heard that things were intensifying as we had seen battleships and jets circling around Taiwan from China. They were saying these were very aggressive, provocative moves by the military of China against Taiwan. And they were saying they needed to stop the aggression or it would escalate into attacks. And now we're hearing China saying prepare for war. China, which claims Taiwan as a part of its territory, has stepped up its show of force around the self-ruled island in recent years. And this was also in response to the fact that the leader of Taiwan had come out and said that they are independent of China. And this rhetoric made China very upset. Xi Jinping not happy with this, and that's why they had those displays of aggression. Now, the article says that China's President Xi Jinping, he has called this week for troops to strengthen their preparedness for war. State media reported today, just days after Beijing started large-scale military drills around Taiwan. Xi made his comments while visiting a brigade of the People's Liberation Army Rocket Force on Thursday, according to state-run broadcaster CCTV. Xi said the military should comprehensively strengthen training and preparation for war and ensure troops have solid combat capabilities, state media CCTV reported. Soldiers must enhance their strategic deterrent and combat capabilities, Xi said. China, which claims Taiwan as a part of their territory, has stepped up its show of force around the self-ruled island in recent years. Now, on Monday, Beijing had deployed fighter jets, drones, warships, and Coast Guard vessels to encircle Taiwan, its fourth round of large-scale war games around the democratic island in just over 2 years. China's communist leaders, they have insisted that they will not rule out using force to bring Taiwan under Beijing's control. Xi on Thursday said the Chinese military must strongly safeguard the country's strategic security and core interests, according to the CCTV report. The dispute between China and Taiwan dates back to a civil war in which nationalist forces of Chiang Kai-shek were defeated by Mao Zedong's communist fighters and fled to the island in 1949. China and Taiwan have been ruled separately since then. So this is an article coming out. Let's go and take a look at this one. That's going to give us a little bit more information as well. Xi Jinping calls on China's army to step up preparedness for war. Chinese President Xi Jinping this week called on the military to increase its readiness for war. This statement came just days after Beijing conducted large-scale military exercises around Taiwan, according to reports. During a visit to the People's Liberation Army Missile Force Brigade, Xi Jinping said the military should comprehensively strengthen war preparations and ensure that troops have reliable combat capabilities. According to him, the soldiers should strengthen their strategic deterrence and combat capabilities. Conflict between China and Taiwan. China has recently threatened that it will never give up the use of force against Taiwan. Since last week, the conflict between the parties has flared up again. China launched large-scale military exercises in Taiwan's channel. The island condemned Beijing's actions and said that it was ready to respond to any steps. Later, Taiwan said that the Chinese ships, they had entered closed waters. The Pentagon responded to China's actions and reminded that the United States was ready to maintain stability in the Indo-Pacific region. And again, as I've mentioned to you, the United States right in the middle of this, and the United States actually receiving threats directly from China as a result of the conflict that could be taking place in the Pacific with Taiwan. Now, why is this? That is because China is being very strategic in how they're going to be dealing with this. They know that they cannot simply just attack Taiwan. If they do so, that Taiwan is allies with the United States. The United States will come to the aid of Taiwan. So China, knowing this, anticipating this, thinks, how can we stop or deter the United States from coming to the assistance of Taiwan? Well, what we're hearing is that over the course of the last 5 years, Chinese military hackers government hackers for China have been infiltrating infrastructure systems, critical infrastructure systems for the United States. They have been hacking them with these malicious hacks, but not activating them. So they have them compromised. They have the ability to take down electrical grids, water systems, hospitals, communications, transportation, ports, all of these capabilities, but they have not detonated them as of yet. They have them ready. And what we're hearing is that when China is ready to infiltrate Taiwan in an effort to stop the United States from intervening on behalf of Taiwan, they will then activate all of these critical infrastructure hacks that they have done and cause chaos across the United States, disrupting our ability to help and aid in Taiwan with the attacks that will be coming from China. So China has been strategically preparing. We're hearing infiltrating U.S. systems for at least the last 5 years. Now, these are the warnings that have been coming out from the FBI. They said that right now this group that is doing this, they're calling them Volt Typhoon. And like I've been sharing with you for over a year now, the FBI has been warning about this. So any conflict that you see taking place involving China and Taiwan, this is directly going to be impacting the United States. That is why here on the channel, I've been sharing with you those lists down in the description of things to prepare for just in case we have various systems go down. Water systems, electrical grids, all of these, they're saying, would not disrupt U.S. military or personnel or all these government entities or whatever. It would actually directly impact the people of the United States. They're saying this would disrupt everyday life for the American citizen. So that is why I have various items that are available for you guys. In addition to that, in case social media platforms go down, as we've heard that some of them have been compromised by these hackers, www.steveramnews.com. Make sure to put your email in to be a part of the newsletter, so that way if we're unable to communicate through social media, you can still get emailed updates as to what is going on. But let me go ahead and share with you these warnings that we had been hearing about, and this coming out, like I said, back in April. So this has been going on, these warnings, for quite some time. A lot of people starting to say, well, when is this going to happen? It's never happening. Well, we're hearing that the warnings are that likely before the year 2027, we will see the attacks come to fruition, that this is what the United States is anticipating will unfold from China. Now, this article says that Chinese government poses broad and unrelenting threat to U.S. critical infrastructure, the FBI director has said. Now, the article says that FBI Director Christopher Wray, on April 18th, he warned national security and intelligence experts, as well as students, that the risk that the government of China poses to the United States' national and economic security are upon us now, and that the United States' critical infrastructure is a prime target. The PRC, or the People's Republic of China, has made it clear that it considers every sector that makes our society run as fair game in its bid to dominate on the world stage, and that its plan is to land low blows against civilian infrastructure to try to induce panic and break America's will to resist, he said in remarks at the Vanderbilt Summit of Modern Conflict and Emerging Threats in Nashville. But he suggested that partnership with both the private sector and academia can be powerful tools in the quest to neutralize this threat. Understanding the threat, the overall threat of the Chinese Communist Party, is a hybrid one that involves crime, counterintelligence, and cybersecurity, and which the FBI is countering with resources from all three missional spheres, Wray said. The threat is particularly driven by the CCP's aspiration to wealth and power, Wray said, adding that China wants to seize economic development in the areas most critical to tomorrow's economy, even if doing so requires theft. The Chinese government has tried to pilfer intellectual property, technology, and research from nearly every industry in the U.S. economy, he noted. But the CCP has also wanted to prevent the United States from being able to get in the way of potential future crisis between China and Taiwan by the year 2027. So again, there it is. We're hearing that this is what is arising right now. These are the warnings that we're hearing that have come out from Xi Jinping in the last 24 hours, as he is telling the Chinese army to prepare for war. The time might be upon us that China will be infiltrating Taiwan, and as a result, we're hearing that the U.S. infrastructure systems have been compromised. And again, I'll read that line, but the CCP has also wanted to prevent the U.S. from being able to get in the way of potential future crisis between China and Taiwan by 2027. He said, Americans are starting to feel the effects of the sprint, he said, pointing to the cyber intrusions and criminal activity as early deterrent efforts by the CCP. Budgets currently being crafted will determine what resources the U.S. government will have available to fight back 3 years from now in the private sector and academia too. The investments, partnerships, security, and capabilities you're building today will dictate how those sectors are prepared or not. 3 short years from now, he added, protecting critical infrastructure. The FBI worries that this sprint means for our country's critical infrastructure, since these vital sectors, everything from water treatment facilities and energy grids to transportation and information technology, form the backbone of our society. The fact is, the PRC's targeting of our critical infrastructure is both broad and unrelenting, he said. And he added that the immense size and expanding nature of the CCP's hacking program isn't just aimed at stealing American intellectual property. It's using that mass, those numbers, to give itself the ability to physically wreak havoc on our critical infrastructure at a time of its choosing. This risk isn't new, he said. The CCP-sponsored cyber actors pre-positioned themselves to potentially mount cyber offensives against American energy companies in 2011, targeting 23 different pipeline operators. But Ray explained their behavior gave us hints about their motivations. When one victim company set up a honeypot, essentially a trap designed to look into the legitimate part of the computer network with decoy documents, it took the hackers all of the 15 minutes to steal the data related to the control and monitoring systems, while ignoring financial and business-related information, which suggests that their goals were even more sinister than just stealing a leg up economically. Similarly, he said that during the FBI's recent Volt Typhoon investigation, the Bureau found that the Chinese government had gained illicit access to networks within America's critical telecommunications, energy, water, and other infrastructure sectors. But he noted that the CCP has also targeted critical infrastructure organizations through more scattershot, indiscriminate cyber campaigns that also impact other victims, such as their Microsoft Exchange hack in 2021, which targeted networks across a wide range of sectors. Now, I have shared with you here on the channel a lot of the cyber attacks that have been taking place recently. We heard that what unfolded with Verizon and AT&T with those things going down. We're hearing Lumens, that there was telecommunication hacks that have unfolded. We're hearing that those likely came from China. We're also hearing the largest water supplier in the United States recently underwent a hack that disrupted water supply, wastewater treatment abilities, and operations. And they're saying that they thought that nothing was harmed. And a lot of people were asking, is the water safe to drink? They said, we believe so. But they shut down the portals and the systems, let people know if you can't pay your bills, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We won't ding you for late fees, but we need to address this because it was the largest American waterworks water supply company servicing 14 different states, 14 million people. And what we were hearing was a lot of people were concerned because they were hacked, and they said that they believe that nothing was compromised. But this is just another sign that a lot of these, they are going down. They are being hit. These cyber attackers from the CCP, they are infiltrating and having success at getting in. And the concern is, what about the ones that we don't know about that have been compromised? And what if they detonate all of these simultaneously, shutting down power grids, water systems, communication systems, transportation, hospitals, pharmacies, a variety of things to wreak havoc on Americans' lives? Now, as I mentioned, why are we bringing all of these up right now? It is because the warnings are coming from the FBI that this will unfold when China is ready to attack Taiwan. And in the last 24 hours, as I shared with you, the headlines coming out that Xi Jinping, with the breaking news, he has come out and said that they need to prepare the armies for war. It is time for war. They're saying, he said, to have them ready, prepare for war. President Xi Jinping has ordered military to prepare for war, and it's coming out across the headlines. China prepares for war. Xi Jinping calls on China's armies to step up their preparations for war, and Xi Jinping asks his troops to prepare for war as battle drills intensify around Taiwan. And again, all of these coming out in just the last 24 hours. October the 19th, October the 20th, these are coming out as they're saying that he is now saying it is time for China to ready themselves for all-out war with Taiwan. And I shared with you that earlier this week we had seen those jets and those naval fleets circling around Taiwan in a form of aggression as a result of back and forth between the leadership. So we will see. I will continue to keep you guys up to date. Now, I know that we've heard Donald Trump. I see somebody mentioning him in the comments. Samuel, he has been warning about China for quite some time. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Donald Trump will do a better job of dealing with China right now as opposed to Kamala Harris and Xi Jinping? If you think that Donald Trump will do a better job, drop a 45. If you think Kamala Harris, drop a 47. I'll be curious to hear your guys' thoughts, but I know a lot of people saying right now, with all the conflicts going on, they feel like Donald Trump might do a better job of negotiating with the world leaders at this time. But it seems like things are intensifying. They're not slowing down. They are speeding up. We have a lot of global conflict that is taking place at this time. And it seems like the United States right in the middle of all of this. But like I said, I will keep you guys up to date. Now, I see those 45s coming in. I see a 47. But do me a favor, while you're dropping those, if you haven't done so yet, please take a second, hit that like button. Just helps spread this out further. I see we've got 1,649 people live with me in the room. If we get those likes up, if you appreciate the updates, it just helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest information. Maggie, thank you so much for hitting the join button, supporting the channel with those monthly contributions. Not necessary, but greatly appreciated as a result of this. After all of the articles that I'm referencing, not only will they be cited in the description of this video, you'll also see it in your YouTube feed. Just an additional benefit that I try to add to say thank you to those that support the channel. So you will see that as well. So like I said, all these articles coming out in the last 24 hours, and I will continue to keep you up to date on them. And I see Jeff Kittle, thank you for the $2 super chat, says the end of days are here. Yeah, things are escalating, and I hear a lot of people putting in the comments wars and rumors of wars taking place. Man, there is a lot going on. We're waiting for the retaliation of Israel against Iran. We also have Ukraine and Russia, North Korea, South Korea, and then now today we're hearing China saying prepare for war with Taiwan. And all of these, the United States has their hand in, as well as a lot of these are our allies that we are going to be coming to their aid with. So a lot of conflict going on, but like I said, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. And again, if you appreciate that, take a second, hit that like button, subscribe to stay up to date. If this is your first time here, it's totally free. Why not? I'll keep you up to speed on everything. Make sure you're staying subscribed. A lot of people letting me know they've been unsubscribed from the channel, and also turn on that notification bell to all so you're notified as breaking news comes out. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will continue to keep you up to speed on everything so you know exactly what is taking place. And yeah, as more comes out, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel. Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. They are all going to start at once on the United States. We'll not know where to respond first, like call a bunch of mice in front of it. Yeah, and you know, like a cat with a bunch of mice in front of it. That's what we've heard, and that's what one of the major concerns is all of these taking place at once. And it seems like that is exactly what is happening. North Korea saying they're preparing for war. Literally the next day, China saying they're preparing for war. Simultaneously, we have Ukraine talking about nuclear weapons, and we are still awaiting for the response for Israel against Iran. That could be coming here any day now. We heard before elections, we will see that retaliation unfold. So, like I said, though, I'll keep you guys up to date every step of the way. But that is the latest. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Let's not pretend that this isn't going on and stick our heads in the sand. Let's be aware of what is going on and use wisdom. So, I will keep you up to date every step of the way. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.